So welcome to the GLC. One of our efforts to show you a day in the life of the GLC is the creation of this thing link. What we've done is we've taken a picture of our space and we wanted to kind of break down what happens where and show you where all the action's happening. So this here, I'm going to go from left to right and give you a bit of a rundown of the things that are happening in the room. So we're going to continue our withdrawals, the one-on-one assistance that we give to students on a weekly basis. And this is where that will be happening. We've created a table specifically for this purpose. And during these withdrawals, what we do with students is we try to establish a slow release of responsibility where we model how to organize, how to create calendars, how to plan for studying, and also how to, say, read assignments, pull out important details from those assignments, how to initiate assignments. We may even brainstorm with students to get them started on assignments. So this is where that happens, and we try to limit how long we see a student to about 20 to 25 minutes, and we do try to rotate through classes as much as possible. So what really helps us in these meetings is knowing what assignments are coming up, having the assignments with us so we can break it down with the student. We know that teachers do this in class, but for our students, we find that repetition really is necessary. And that's why the more communication we have with you as a teacher about the requirements of each assignment, the better it is for us so we can support you in the classroom. So the next thing we have here is our assistive technology room. It looks a little bit like a dungeon, but we are trying to spice it up. I've also included in this thing link a link to our assistive technology s'more. So it gives you 4 really cool videos on the assistive technology we are using. What we have this year, we know our 7s to 10s have their own computers, which is great, but specifically for the GLC, we do have Dragon Naturally Speaking. Everybody, even on your computers, will have Read Out Loud, and we will go through a training process more toward the end of September, beginning of October on how to use this, and this all students will have on their computers. It's an excellent research tool as well as a text-to-speech tool, and because many of our students will be using their laptops, OneNote we found, since we were introduced to it last year, will be essential or will be useful for many of our students. So that's our assistive tech room. What you'll see here is a USB wall. Since we do have Read Out Loud, we've noticed in the past years that the use of computers has increased with our students, and with the rollout of the tech program, we figured what we need is we need our students each to have a USB so that we can save tests as PDFs on the USB. Students can open their tests from the USB and actually have their tests read to them using the Read Out Loud function. This is why the tests do need to be sent to us digitally at least 24 hours in advance so we can convert any Word files to PDF files, save on the correct USBs, especially if we know and when we know students are writing tests. We don't want to have to leave that to the morning of, so 24 hours in advance is absolutely essential for us this year. What you'll see here is our calendar. It's been a standard in the GLC for quite some years, and what we record is we record all assignments that appear on the grade test calendars or evaluation calendars. This is really, really good resource. Many of our students come in just to look at the calendars to see what's coming up, and it helps us when we do our seated weekly withdrawal to show students that they can plan ahead and to look ahead a few weeks to see how busy they will get. So this year, your focus or your ability to upload assignments on the test calendars is absolutely essential and will support us. So you'll support us and we will support you in that. So this one here is our test wall. This is where you would drop off hard copies of your tests. This year, if you send us a digital copy and you would like us to print out the hard copies, we would absolutely love to do that. It it alleviates a little bit of work for you. That way you don't have to walk all the way to the GLC. However, if a student does have a prompt sheet, that is something you will have to walk down to the GLC. And we have created a s'more about prompt sheets, so if you want to get a refresher on that, that would be great. So this, obviously the desk area is our testing area. We've reoriented it this year to face this wall, simply so that we can keep an eye on students' screens, especially when we are doing withdrawal. And also we're going to have a little bit of construction behind us where the old annex was, so we wanted to kind of try to minimize distractions as much as possible. So this year we are going to be starting a GLC after school program where we're going to teach students, particularly from 7 through 9 or 10, study strategies. We're going to have extra help for math, science, and English as well. And you'll know more about that as we build that program. And we have created a s'more for that, but it's quite empty right now. So we'll add to it as we finalize that program. So we have a few resources in the room. This is our organization and goal setting resource wall. It's a really great visual of how to organize, and it helps us direct students. On this wall, what you'll see is a lot of resources. We have a lot of graphic organizers, writing resources, a lot of posters on math concepts, some basics like BEDMAS, and students do reference these continually. We do have our standard computers, so for many of our 11s and 12s who won't be bringing in their computers, we do have computers for them so that they can type their tests. And then this is great if you're ever in need of any resources, if you want to brush up on what does it mean to have a learning disability or organization. I have a ton of personal resources that I keep in the room. It's not a problem. If you want to take a look at them, go through them, please feel free. We really do want to support everything that you're doing in the classroom. So hopefully this little guided tour of the GLC has been helpful to you. And remember, our goal is to support you in what you do in the classroom.